it going, peeps? It's your boy Ozzy here, and today we're talking about Matthew Stafford and the contract, and my thoughts about the contract, and some other people who don't like it. And real quick, before we hop into that, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna put the link in the description, my username at the end of the video in the outro. The first, we'll say about 50. We might go a little bit more depending on how well this takes off. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Leave a comment on this video. Tell me that you followed me on Twitter. I will follow you on Twitter. And then on Twitter, I will give you a shout out for following me. So go ahead and do that. And now, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this conversation. The Matthew Stafford contract is a 5-year deal worth $135 million, which rounds up to be about $27 million per year. Which I have absolutely 100% zero problem with this. Matthew Stafford is one of my favorite quarterbacks in today's game, and that's not just being biased of the Lions. If he did leave the Lions, I probably would have been a little bit butthurt about it, because since I love this guy so much, I look up to him, and I'm constantly sticking up for this guy just from the sheer hate this guy gets and all the doubters, especially you, Ron Parker. That was my finger, not my penis. Don't freak out. Ron Parker said Colin Kaepernick would have been a better choice over Matthew Stafford. Nuh-uh, as Stone Cold would say. No chance. Kaepernick is a good quarterback, not a starter. He could be a starter for someone like the Jets, but not over a guy Stafford. He is not better than Stafford. Even in his prime, when he was in the Super Bowl, he was not better than Stafford. They had a great defense, made him look a lot better. They had a great coach in Harbaugh. They let Harbaugh go, and ever since then, Kaepernick has not been the same. And probably, unless he went somewhere like Baltimore, where they had a similar system, he probably won't ever be the same again. And it's not just because of the kneeling. That's this whole stupid moment. I don't want to talk about it because everyone's so sensitive on the subject. I mean, you guys know me. I hate talking about politics and this and that. Leave it at there, okay? Just pure skill. Kaepernick's not better than Stafford. So Ron Parker should just stick to doing basketball videos and not talking about football, since he knows absolutely nothing about football. Just stay in your lane, buddy. Now, Stafford has not had, well, I guess as any player that played for the Lions, they don't get the right treatments. Look at Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, you guys. You guys don't blame them for their bad teams. Of course, Calvin was on the 0-16 team, which eventually got us Matthew Stafford. But you guys did not blame those players. You blamed the organization for not getting Barry or Calvin more help. You didn't get them a secondary player you play with, an offensive line, a defensive line, exada, exada, exada. I don't know what I say. Same thing goes for Stafford. The Lions have not improved the front office abilities to get players, to keep players, or to rebuild around one person. You guys totally give Stafford 100% of the blame for the Lions' failure. And then when he does something good, you guys just say, it wasn't him, it was somebody else, it was the coach or whatever. You guys just bash Stafford. Now, I have a little bit of notes here. I'm cheating today because I had so many thoughts rushing through my mind just reading comments on Facebook and Twitter about everyone bashing them. So if you see me look down, I'm just glancing over this so I don't get off track. It's been the history throughout the NFL that the NFC North has always been one of the toughest divisions defensively and offensively through the NFL. Through the Packers, which have been consistent, as much as I hate to say that. Although I was a Brett Favre fan, I just hate Aaron Rodgers. The Bears and the Vikings have all dominated the division at one point in time. The Lions haven't truly dominated the division since like the 50s, before the Super Bowl. And the NFC in general has always been a tougher conference than the AFC. The AFC's got a few good teams that are competitive. You got like New England and Pittsburgh, all those guys who've been there a long time. But rather than that, it hasn't really stayed the same, and it kind of flip-flops, which is, it's okay. But the NFC has been so dominant, just producing great teams. It's always more fun. I always like watching the NFC games better like the Cowboys and the Giants that are always so tough to watch, just because there's a lot of hard hits. It's more entertaining. NFC North is one of the most entertaining divisions to watch, just because even when a team sucks like the Bears are going to be this year, they're still going to play hard in the division, and it's going to be interesting to watch. So just know that that's already a knock. It's tough to win a division when 4 or 3 of the 4 teams in that division have great defenses or offenses. It's one of the toughest divisions ever, and the Lions have just got the short end of the stick of it. The bad organization of the Lions, they just can't get anybody or get anyone to stay. And then when they get people, they treat them like dirt. Look at the Calvin Johnson situation that's been going on lately. It hasn't been a pretty organization. And right now, Stafford's the glue. He's been the first real piece that we've been able to sign. And hopefully he won't retire early like Calvin. But we let Sue walk, and we struggled the next year. The only time we let Calvin go, we made the playoffs. So we lost Calvin. Oh, blooper. I don't know if I'm going to edit that out or not. Probably not, because I'm lazy. Anyway, hopefully that doesn't fall again. I don't know. Anyway, Stafford lost arguably one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver of all time in Megatron. And he put up better numbers. Or at least he didn't go down any. His interception total went down, which is a plus. He developed. He hasn't had a real running back his whole career. He had Reggie Bush, and he was the last 100-yard rusher for Detroit. But even then, he was old and washed up and wasn't really the same. So I don't know if Abdullah and Riddick are the answer. I like Riddick. Riddick's on every down back for him. He's more of a screen running back, a catching running back, a route running running back. He's not really give the ball to him every down and do it. Abdullah, if he can stay healthy, hopefully he can take that load off of him. And this next one is this is the toughest one for me to talk about, just because it's probably around the year I started watching football constantly about the Lions. It was the 0-16 season, and all you people saying that we shouldn't have signed Stafford to this deal are morons. Much as I can say about it. Go back, I challenge you. The last quarterback we had besides Stafford, who was worth a darn. Not John Kitna, not Dante Culpepper, not Dan Orlowski. It was probably what's his name? I'm drawing a blank. Bobby Lane. He was probably the last real quarterback we had. And then we traded him and he cursed us, and we haven't done anything since. So for you guys saying Stafford's not worth anything, who are we supposed to get? Kaepernick? Nah. Jay Cutler? He wasn't available. I wouldn't want him on my team anyway. RG3? He's an ACL tear away from being put in a wheelchair. Who else are we supposed to get? Tim Tebow? He's on baseball. Vince Young? He's old now. Stafford is the glue. He's the tape. And he's the staples of this organization right now. We got a few nice pieces with him. Golden Tate, Marvin Jones. They're not the best receivers in the league, but they're okay. They're probably B or C ranked. Hopefully, Galladay will turn into something and be a star. Hopefully, our defense will do good this year, because the Lions haven't had a great defense ever. It's been forever. I trust Bob Quinn. He's Bob the Builder up in here. I believe in him. I trust him. He hasn't proven me wrong yet. Yikes. He hasn't proven me wrong yet. I trust the guy, point saying. So anyway, that's the end of the video. Go ahead and tell me what you guys think about Matthew Stafford's contract. It's only a matter of time before this contract's topped, because the Derek Carr contract, everyone thought that was probably going to be the limit, and they topped it. So it's only going to be a matter of time before Stafford is topped. It's really not that bad of a contract if you think about it. Just go ahead and do some research on the NBA contracts, come back to me and talk about this. And Stafford's worth that money, since quarterbacks are so hard to come by. So go ahead, leave a like if you're still here. Go ahead if you're new and subscribe. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter. Comment down below. Peace out. Stay fresh.